On September 17th, 2020, it will be the 100th year of the National Football League. The league was founded on September 17th, 1920 in Canton, Ohio. On August 20th, 1920, Jim Thorpe invited 4 reps from other Ohio club teams to his showroom. In this meeting, the men agreed on a broad outline of new association. The new association was called the American Professional Football Organization. According to the Canton Evening Repository, the goal of the new association was to raise the standard of professional football in every way possible, to eliminate bidding for players between rival clubs, and to secure cooperation in the formation of schedules. Only 5 states competed in this organization, consisting of only 14 teams. 5 from Ohio, the Akron Pros, Canton Bulldogs, Cleveland Tigers, Columbus Panhandlers, and the Dayton Triangles. 4 from Illinois, Chicago Tigers, Decatur Staleys, Racine Cardinals, and Rock Island Independents. 2 from Indiana, Hammond Pros and Muncie Flyers. 2 from New York, Buffalo All-Stars and Rochester Jeffersons, and 1 from Michigan, the Detroit Heralds. The first game was played at Douglas Park in Rock Island, Illinois. The game was played on September 26, 1920. At this game, the Independents played St. Paul, beating them 48-0. In 1922, the name changed from the American Professional Football Organization to the National Football League. The Cardinals left Chicago in 1959, moving to St. Louis, but later moving to Arizona in 1988. The Decatur Staleys moved to Chicago in 1921, changing their name the next year to the Bears. In the 1960s, the NFL was challenged by other leagues. Most of the competition came from the AFL, or the American Football League. In 1970, the NFL and AFL merged to create a 26-team competition. The league decided to keep the name NFL. Since 1970, the league has added 6 new franchises and expanded 4 times. Games during the first years of the National Football League were rather overlooked. The average audience was 4,241 people. Pro football did not take off until 1925 when college star Red Grange signed. The league's official record from 1920 championship was not recorded until 1970. To declare a champion in the first season, the organization used a ballot system. All the delegates voted the Akron Pros champion because of their undefeated season with 8 wins and 3 ties. The Gridiron Dimensions of the National Football League are the same as in the 1920s. However, the game is different. Examples of this include the fact that forward passes were rare, coaching from the sidelines was prohibited, and players played on both offensive and defensive side of the ball. In the 1920s, teams could play non-league, college, and own opponents and would count for their season record. Today, the NFL is a strict 16-game schedule. Professional football today is considered as America's second favorite pastime. In the 2019-2020 season, there are 32 teams that compete for one ultimate goal, the Super Bowl title. The Super Bowl was played in February between the NFC and AFC champions. Teams having many players on both sides of the ball often have up to 3 strings of backups in case of injury or fines that may occur during a season. The fan bases of teams have significantly changed since the first season of pro football. Today, the teams have stadiums that can fit up to 100,000 people during one Sunday game. The National Football League is most of America's Sunday afternoon, with 12 games starting at noon and lasting until 7. For a fact, at my house, the television does not leave CBS, Fox, or NBC until Monday morning. I interviewed a couple NFL experts. My first interview was with Timothy Hunziker. I asked, "What team do you typically cheer for?" He replied, "The Steelers." "Has your team ever won a Super Bowl?" "Yes, 6 of them." "Do you know what year your team joined the league?" 1933. "In your opinion, who is the best quarterback in the NFL?" "Of all time, Peyton Manning. Of the current season, Patrick Mahomes." My next interview was with Blake Hunziker. This is Blake Hunziker, an extreme Chiefs fan. Blake, what team do you typically cheer for?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Has your team ever won a Super Bowl?
They have won the 4th Super Bowl ever.
Do you know what year your team joined the league?
I'm going to say a little early on, maybe 1950s, 60s.
Actually, the Kansas City Chiefs came to Kansas City in the 1970s. In your opinion, who is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Well, I would like to say Mahomes, but the best would technically be Tom Brady. Technically.
So, Carson, what team do you typically cheer for on a Sunday afternoon?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Do you know what year the Kansas City Chiefs joined the league?
I do not.
Well, so the Kansas City Chiefs joined the league in 1970. Has the Kansas City Chiefs ever won a Super Bowl?
Yes.
And who is the best quarterback in the NFL?
Probably Russell Wilson.